Hi all, this video is from ABDA, Chennai, that is Academy for Big Data Analytics. So today we'll be seeing what's big data, how big data came into action and how we can handle big data. So the storyline for today will be like we'll see an intro and then we'll move on to what's big data and we'll see how big is big data, and we'll be seeing technologies like hadoop or tools which are used to handle big data, and applications such as where big data is being used, how they are handling big data, and big data landscape will give you a clear picture on how these tools came to action and what these tools are meant for. And last but not least, we'll see, is big data important? So do we really need to handle this data? So first will be introduction. Introduction in the sense, moving to big data, first we need to know what's data actually. So data, it's been there for the past many decades, and we are handling data right from the flat files to now we are having SQL databases. So data has been there with us for many decades. So data is nothing but data is a collection of informations said to be a data. So basically, data has two aspects, which is qualitative and quantitative. So all these terminologies you should be knowing in order to work with big data, because these are said to be the fundamentals of data. So data can further be classified into discrete and continuous. These will help you in working with data actually. These terminologies will help you in working with data actually. And for data, we have something called as a DLM. That is nothing but a data lifecycle management. It's just like our a Java applet program, which has many stages, like where we create, store, use, share, achieve, and destroy data. So data also has this kind of a life cycle which we need to know actually. So this graph, this pie chart gives you an idea on what's the data life cycle management is about, where you create the data, you store the data in a place, and you use the data when you want it, and when others ask, you just share the data, and ultimately after, once the data is being used, it goes to an archive. And if you don't want the data really, and then the data gets destroyed. So this is the basic for data. So next we move into big data. So big data is there for from late 90s, I think. So from data, big data came into action. So as of now, in the modern terms, what we have, it's like we have many types of data, like structured data, semi-structured data, unstructured data. So these types of data are available now. So there's a big challenge for us, to handle these data. So how we are going to handle these data? So the IBM came with a solution for this. They gave these four V's, which are basically volume, velocity, and variety. So the volume is nothing but how big is your data. So volume, it's just like your storage. You have the hierarchy of storage, like starts from bytes. We have a petabyte right now, zettabyte, yottabyte, octabyte. So we have many hierarchy in storage actually. So we need to consider that too. And the next is velocity. Velocity is nothing but how fast the data can move from one place to another. It's just like processing the data from one place to another. So if I want to do some some operations to my data, I should, the velocity must be quite good. The variety of data. So variety, this image shows you what's the variety of data that's being used right now. Structured, you have RDBMS files, like the normal database files, all comes under structured data. And semi-structured data, you have XML files, JSON files, all these come under your semi-structured data, and unstructured data are nothing but your social media data, which right now it's hugely generated right now. And last, you have a thing called as veracity. So veracity, speaking about veracity, this V was added a few years ago by IBM. What they say is, if I want to do some analysis on my data, which I have, after you analyze the data will give some output to you. So will that output be valid or not? That comes under veracity. So is my data useful for me or not? Will the data be useful to take some business decisions? So that comes under veracity. So why we need to handle big data? So if you have a big data solution, mostly you can go with you can have a cost reduction, time reduction, you can take smart decisions, you can optimize your work, you can go with some new products, change your patterns. So if you have a big data solution in your in your infrastructure or something like that, you can go with these solutions. You can have these solutions in ready-made. So next is, how big is big data? So this this slide shows you a 60-second comparison on how fast the data is being stored right now. So right from unstructured and semi-structured, the data is growing fast. So where does this data come from? So we have two sources actually. One is internal source and another one is external sources. So internal sources, nothing but something which you have inside your premises. Like for example, you can take any bank. So they would mostly have a transactional data. So transactional data get generated on daily basis. Same like log data. When you hit a server, log gets generated. Same wise, if you want to request for something, you just throw a mail, right? So your mail data also gets generated day by day. So these are internal data which are mostly useful data. So coming on external data, we have social media data, we have audio files, we have photos and videos, which are YouTube. You have tons and tons of videos getting uploaded day by day. So all these external data are also getting increased day by day. So you need to handle all these. So apart from these, industries like gaming industries, industries like automobiles, also have their own sensors where the data is also getting generated day by day. So this slide gives you an idea on how the big data is growing. Next, we'll be seeing technologies which can handle these data, right? So speaking about these technologies, when first comes into action is Hadoop. When you speak about big data, Hadoop comes into action. So what Hadoop does? Hadoop is a framework which is used to handle big data, actually. So duck cutting, a person called us duck cutting, has given a solution to handle big data. This was the solution actually. So currently we have Hadoop version 3.0, which is currently under beta version. So the stable version is 2.7. So people use 2.7 stable version for Hadoop deployment. So Hadoop basically, as I said, is used to handle big data. So Hadoop has three components, or three subcategories which are very important. One is HDFS and MapReduce, and another one is Hive. So HDFS is like a file system which you call as Hadoop distributed file system, and then we have something called as MapReduce, which the image shows you how the data gets splitted and how the data is being processed. So why these two components are there? One is for batch processing and another one is for distributed storage. So these two help help in storing the data and processing the data. So Hive, why Hive? Hive is a data warehouse where your data gets stored, and you can apply SQL like queries, and you can handle the data. So as we see, Hive was developed by Facebook, and it's now been widely used by many other firms also. So in this, we have something called as clusters, where your data gets replicated, and it's being stored across the cluster. So something called as cluster we have over here, and is only Hadoop there? No, we have something called as Spark, Apache Spark, which is 100 times faster than Hadoop, and we also have Flink, which is more faster than Spark. So technologies are growing day by day. New technologies are coming into action. So we really need to be updated. So speaking about applications where we use these data, so where big data is being used, or where simple any industry which generates data needs to handle the data. So big data comes into action. So we have enormous amount of applications where big data is being used. So in this slide, if to my knowledge, big data, more amount of data is being generated by healthcare, where genome comes into action. We have something called as genome pattern recognition or something like that, where a huge amount of data is being generated. And next, to my knowledge, is uh, communication, media, and entertainment, where your all your social media stuffs come into action. Facebook, Google, these sites are generating huge amount of data, and they are also handling those data. That's a big challenge. So next slide would be big data landscape. So this slide gives you an idea on what are all the frameworks, what are all the on-premise or cloud-based services which you have in order to handle your data. So we have Hadoop, Spark, Flink, all these stuffs, frameworks which are used to handle big data, and for data ingestion, data acquisition, for data processing, or data wrangling, for every purpose there's a tool. That's the big advantage of big data right now. And we also have something called as cloud-based solutions, like we have AWS, we have Google Cloud, we have Kubol. All these stuffs are used to handle data in cloud. It's not like to handle big data I need to have a data center in my own premises. Not like that. You can have the data in your cloud also. You can easily manage your data. The technologies has been grown from grown to a vast space. So speaking about is data important? Should I really manage the data? You never knew which data will be useful for you, which data you can depend on, how this data can be helpful. So if you manage all these data, that's useful for you actually. So doing analytics on big data is easy. You have many analytics tools, like you have R, you have Python, you have for data visualization, you have Tableau. You have all these tools now with which your data can be visualized or processed. So your data can be a meaningful aspect also. You can take decisions from these data also. So which industries are using these technologies, or which industries are most widely generating data? So you can see over here like IT services, computer software, internet. So where Hadoop is being used basically. So if you have these solutions, you can reduce the cost, you can take the decision faster. As I previously said, analytics also plays a vital role in big data. So speaking about career opportunities. So in 2017, I think there's a big demand for people to get into big data and analytics. So over here you can see a demand on analytic tools where R plays a first role. R is nothing but a statistical tool which is used for analytics, and we have something called as Python, which is a development tool as well as an analytical. No, it's Python is actually a programming language with which you can do many things. Like you have many packages called as scikit-learn, pandas, or NumPy. You have many packages to that too, and you have a data visualization tool called as Tableau and Spark. So if you want to know about Spark, first you need to know about what Hadoop is. So in order to work with Spark, you should first need to work with Hadoop. So another graph shows you on the salary range, like big data person average salary will be 9.93 lakhs per annum. So this is quite interesting. And machine learning, speaking about machine learning, you can also apply your machine learning concepts, like many algorithms are there, like a priori algorithm, decision tree, random forest, or in Python you have something called as TensorFlow, scikit-learn. So you can apply all your machine learning algorithms in Python and R as well. And speaking about experience, salary range, a person who has completed a course on data science or knows data science can earn 6.4 lakhs per annum. It's just like a fresher. A fresher who gets into a field of big data and analytics can easily earn 5 to 6 lakhs per annum. So this video is basically to give you an idea on what's big data and what's analytics. And in upcoming videos, we'll be posting on how to install these tools. Like one by one, we'll be going like R, Python, how to work with Python, what are all the packages available in Python, and R, and how to install Hadoop in standalone mode, in cluster, how to install Spark. And then we have many tools, like we have Tableau, how to work with Tableau, what's a workbook. So we'll be showing all these in our upcoming slides or upcoming videos. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will be posting frequently on Facebook and LinkedIn also. Do share this video and do subscribe. Thank you.